The Prime Minister outlines the BLP's successful stewardship at the party's annual conference. Barbados continues to make its case for stronger support to tackle global climate crisis. And in sports, Chelsea Tuach and Josh Burke advanced to the semis at a surfing pro meet in Puerto Rico.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Welcome to CBC NewsNight. Glad you could join us. I'm Kimberly Skeet. Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley has highlighted government successes on day 2 of the Barbados Labour Party's annual conference. She did so as a well-known former Democratic Labour Party member attending the event was embraced by the membership. We get the details in this Akeem Klinkert report.
Just before Prime Minister Motley addresses the conference, prominent attorney-at-law Michael Ashley, a former Democratic Labour Party government minister and candidate for St. Philip North, is welcomed by jubilant party members. As Ms. Motley begins her address, she encourages party faithful to show love, particularly to the newcomer.
And I see 1 or 2 people who need a little extra love today. Give it to them, Michael. Faith.
She then goes on to remind members of the party's dominance on the political landscape and indicate her confidence in its continued success.
130 love, 1-1 love, 130 love, and next one love. Count 30 and 1 and 30 and 1 is how much? 62 love. And I don't pretend to predict the future, but suffice it to say that my name is Mia Amor Motley, my love.
The Prime Minister stresses that the economy is bigger and stronger today than under the previous government.
17 straight quarters of growth. And it would have been much more had it not been for the economic pandemic.
She reinforces the point.
Our national debt, 178.9% when we came in. It is now at the end of September, 100.5%. And we are on course for it to be double-digit by the end of this year.
Ms. Motley says Barbados' economic progress has been even highlighted by the International Monetary Fund.
Once again, the IMF has shown that Barbados has achieved the 9th fastest acceleration in growth in the world during this entire period, among the top 10 out of 193. And that is the result of sound management, targeted investment, and the confidence we've restored.
The Prime Minister adds that Barbados has led globally on the issue of debt swaps, managing to secure such deals.
Last year, we completed the world's first ever debt for climate swap, where we took our debt back, and with the help of $300 million US in guarantees from the IDB and the European Investment Bank, and a grant from the Green Climate Fund, we were able to free up money to be able now to commit to a new South Coast sewage treatment plant at $125 million US with money left back for the Water Authority.
She explains the benefits this way.
That is like you having one house with a mortgage, getting a second and not having to increase a single cent for the payment of the second house.
Ms. Motley says her government intends to continue charting a course of development that uplifts all Barbadians. Akeem Klinkert, CBC News.
Last night, the BLP held its award ceremony also in Queen's Park. The featured speaker was youth leader Tahir Bulbulia. Rachel Agard has that story.
Featured speaker for the evening, Tahir Bulbulia, believes Barbadians have what it takes to move their country forward, despite the many international and local issues that threaten the island's continued development. He identifies some of the local challenges as supply chain issues, the high cost of living, education reform, crime, and mental health concerns. Mr. Bulbulia notes, however, that Barbados has been able to hold its own in spite of the many challenges.
Barbados is at a crossroads in its history. We've accepted that. 58 years independence, 4 years as a republic, and we're now moving forward, we're flying. We're reaching newer heights, we're reaching newer markets. We're exploring opportunities that have never been explored before. And it is extremely uncomfortable for many of you. But the fact is that with this rapidly changing world, we have to rapidly change as individuals as well.
He adds that more individuals need to step up to take the country forward.
This weekend provides a prime opportunity for you to ask yourself, what can I do to contribute to the development of my country? What can I do to contribute to the development of my community? What role do I have to play in shaping a path for the development of Barbados? Because when I was on brass tacks, everybody complaining. But when you ask what's the solution, everybody going to the back of the line now. But that ain't my job, that ain't my role, that's what you're voting government for. But if this is the mindset that is concerning for me, because then where is the national consciousness? Where is the focus on national development? Are you solely going to be dependent on a select few of our society to carry the burden for the rest?
A number of awardees are honored on the night, but the greatest goes to Senator Dr. the Most Honorable Jerome Walcott. He is bestowed the Grantley Adams Award, the party's highest award, after almost 40 years in the party. Dr. Walcott gives his colleagues this reminder.
Because there's some things that you need to remember. Serving your community. Resilience. The need to not believe in entitlement. The need to be humble. The need to be caring. The need to be hardworking. These are the things that we need to continue and maintain this party from its members. We as a party must remain united, resilient, steadfast, committed, determined, humble and caring, and in the end, the rewards shall be yours.
The BLP's annual conference ends tomorrow. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Barbados continues to make its case for stronger partnerships and financial support to tackle the global climate crisis. The message was reinforced by Minister in the Prime Minister's office, Senator Dr. Chantal Munro-Knight, at the opening ceremony of the Climate Finance for Action workshop at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. Deanza Roberts has more.
Minister Munro-Knight outlined the ongoing challenges faced by small island developing states like Barbados, including limited fiscal space and increasing climate-related costs. She says despite the challenges, we must press forward.
We must harden our resolve as a nation first, and as we bring other small island developing states along with us. To be able to confront this challenge is not one that the government can do alone, which is why we're having this conversation. It is one that requires consensus, and like I said, a hardening of our very own resolve that we will face this challenge head on by innovating and by standing together through partnerships.
She says government remains committed to building resilience through partnerships and sustainable procurement.
As much as we can do, as much as we can use the tools that are available to us, again, we need critical partnerships. Critical partnerships, one, like I said, that is, and I'm repeating it for a purpose, that builds consensus nationally that this is mission critical. That what you do in the private sector adds or could potentially subtract. That how you work with us to be able, again, to ensure that we have actions that are strategic in our thinking, that are aligned, is going to be important for us.
The minister also highlighted progress in integrating climate spending into government budgeting and called on the private and non-profit sectors to join the national effort.
As we try to bring all of society along, the crisis is present, the crisis is today. So it means that those of us who understand, those of us who get it, those of us who know it, has a critical responsibility in whatever sector that we belong to bring along others with us, to galvanize a deeper understanding and urgency around the action that needs to be taken. And that is a joint responsibility that I'm putting on all of you who are gathered here today.
As Barbados prepares to join other nations at Conference of the Parties 30, the minister says the country will continue to advocate for fair climate financing and equitable solutions. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Coming up, fostering hope after a breast cancer diagnosis. Creating hope beyond a breast cancer diagnosis. That was the focus of psychologist Annette Cumberbatch speaking at the National Union of Public Workers annual lecture and discussion. She focused on the mental and emotional well-being of patients and their caregivers. The event was held under the theme Beyond Diagnosis, Wellness in Breast Cancer Care. We get more in this Deanza Roberts report.
Mrs. Cumberbatch, who is a counseling community psychologist at the psychiatric hospital, emphasized that true recovery extends far beyond physical treatment.
A holistic approach to mental health for cancer survivors and caregivers considers the whole person. That is the physical, the emotional, mental, social, and spiritual well-being of individuals. So it's just not one thing, it's everything involved here. And this approach acknowledges unique experiences and challenges of the cancer journey and aims to promote overall well-being.
Citing research information, she reminded participants that both patients and caregivers face immense emotional strain.
And research shows that patterns of cancer-related mental health issues can manifest differently across individuals, and prevalence of cancer-related mental health issues varies depending on the type of cancer, the stage of the disease, treatment modalities, and individual characteristics. A cancer diagnosis can trigger intense anxiety and fear. And the initial shock and uncertainty surrounding the diagnosis can lead to an avalanche of emotions. So you're looking at things like worry about the prognosis, worry about treatment options, and the impact on one's quality of life.
Ms. Cumberbatch says that mental wellness should be an essential part of every cancer care plan, ensuring that healing goes beyond the body to touch the mind and the soul. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Sports time. Good evening. I'm Damien Best. Well, Josh Burke was dominant today as he cruised into the semifinals of the Open Men's section of the La Marginal Surfing Pro 2025 in Puerto Rico, which is part of the Alas Latin Pro Tour. Josh posted a 5.67 on his first wave and a 6.77 on his second for a wave total of 12.44 to win Heat 1 of the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, his brother Jacob missed the cut after he finished fourth in Heat 2 of the fourth round. Jacob registered a wave total of 10.06, placing him 25th overall. On the women's side, Chelsea Tuach won her quarterfinal today and will be in Heat 2 of the semifinals tomorrow. Well, the ninth and final series of the BCA Elite season bowled off today at Foursquare. Cheyenne Brathwaite slammed an unbeaten century for Empire as the hosts won the toss and opted to bat, reaching 247 for 7 at the close against ESA Field Pickwick. Brathwaite is 148 not out, inclusive of 4 fours and 9 sixes. Meanwhile, at Lucas Street, Pius Emilian snapped up a 5 for 36 and Craig Brathwaite 4 for 16 as Windward were bowled out for 159 after being sent into bat. Wanderers in response reached 70 without loss at the close. At Royce's captain Matthew Jones took 4 for 8 as Gladiola bowled out Barbados Youth for just 65 runs in 37.2 overs. In reply, Gladiola are 85 for 5, a lead of 20 runs. At Dash Valley, champions Wildy ran through the YMPC lineup as the visitors were bowled out for 94 in 27.2 overs. Desmond Currency took 4 for 24. Wildy in reply are 93 for 1. And at 3W's Oval, Yorkshire sent into bat were bowled out for 188 against UWI. Joshua Bishop took 5 for 49 and Javi Leacock 4 for 42, while Thalbert Brathwaite made 60. In reply, UWI reached 14 for 2. Wow Foundation and Eiffel School Police will meet in the men's final of the Goddard Enterprises Limited Senior Volleyball Knockout Competition after both sides secured semi-final wins at the Wildy Gym. Foundation came from a set down to beat Chargers, while Police upset defending champions KFC Deacons. CBC's Anna Margaret's Boyce reports.
Wow Foundation up against Chargers in the orange for a spot in the final. From the start, check this out. Brutal kill from Rashawn Allen down the middle. Chargers, who are former Kings, sent a clear message that they would not be beaten easily. Mark Lewis with a vicious right hand. And Chargers took the first set, 25-17. Just take a look at the facial expression of Samuel Wharton, game face after a powerful spike. Momentum with Chargers. But this game was about to turn upside down. Wow Foundation coming from a set down, thanks to brilliant work like this. The double team at the net by Aline and Dominic Durant, effective. The drama unfolded like a Hollywood movie. Foundation in the ascendancy, sensing something special here. More tag team action. Look at the celebrations. This was nerve-jangling and nail-biting stuff, with fans in the gym on the edge of their seats. Both teams going for the win, but Durant rose to the occasion and delivered the most damaging blow, put the full stop on it. Wow Foundation into the final after beating Chargers 23-25, 25-17, 25-17, 26-28, 15-13. Second match, Eiffel School Police in the white and blue taking on defending champions KFC Deacons. Yup, Police wasting no time, laying down the law. Yuri Clark, that's magnificent. Police were making their presence known in a massive way. This was thunderous, too hot to handle. Deacons were really up against it as the Police brought their A game. Shemroy Ross with the kill. And the game was wrapped up quickly after. Deacons served this one out. Eiffel School Police win 25-21, 28-26, 22-24, 25-20. And Mark Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
That's our news. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kimberly Skeet. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.